Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the BFNL Footy Show for another week. Fantastic to be joining you for our penultimate edition of the year. That means second last, Broads, just so you know. It's going to be a big show leading into preliminary final week this weekend. Sean Kelly's my name. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Liam Brady, one of the more learned people when it comes to BFNL football in the region, mate. Welcome.
Thanks, Sean. Good to be here, mate.
Fantastic to have you here as well. Just pregnant pause there.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about the show ahead, mate. Looking forward to it.
Will be a very big show indeed. We're going to jump straight into it as well, talking about our first talking point for the week. Junior Grand Final day this week, Braids. At the Eastern Oval, venue change. So anybody that had planned on coming down and obviously had set their radars for the City Oval, as it has been in years, the game has been changed to the Eastern Oval. Unfortunately, the City Oval surface just not quite up to it at the moment. So we thought, on the part of caution, take it up to the Eastern Oval. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic day this Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be a really good day. Sean, I think the thing about the Junior Grand Final is it's always a pretty big crowd. You know, we get obviously parents there, grandparents come along. As you said, the games have been moved to the Eastern Oval just due to the surface. So it's all about obviously the players playing in good conditions, and I think the Eastern Oval is in really good nick at the moment. So looking forward to a really good day. Obviously, be a really big crowd, and it's great to see the footballers and netballs really enjoy playing on Grand Final day. You see the boys run out through the banners, and I'm sure they're all looking forward to the day. It's only Wednesday, but I'm sure they're keen down to sleeps until BFL Junior Grand Final day. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather's kind to us. I know it's meant to be a little bit of rain about on Friday, but I think the weekend's meant to be okay, so it should be a good day.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic day. Always is. It's one of the best days of the year. Just the atmosphere is fantastic. Obviously, as you said, huge crowd there. Get to see the enjoyment of kids playing in the Premiership as well, which is always heartwarming to see. Yeah,
exactly. And there's obviously going to be one loser on the day as well. And it's not the end of the world if you do lose the grand final. You bounce back next year, but I'm sure everyone who plays in the weekend will really get a lot out of the experience. Should
be a great day at the Eastern Oval on Sunday. Make sure you get along. There is a gate charge on the day, which basically covers expenses for the day and throughout the final series as well. So it should be a fantastic day. 6 games of football, 6 games of netball throughout the day. So well and truly getting your money's worth. Talking point number 2 as we switch it back to senior football from the weekend, Braids, in the second semi-final. Bacchus Marsh hadn't played in a final since 1999 before a couple of weeks ago. They've now played in 2 of them. They've won both of them, and they are setting themselves up for their first premiership tilt this century. Fantastic work by Bacchus Marsh on the weekend, overcoming Sunbury.
Yeah, look, a really good performance. I was there, and I was really impressed with the way they moved the ball into their forward line. Every time they went forward, they looked really dangerous. Jared Maximow and also Damien Cupid, I think they kicked about 13 goals between them. So they've obviously, they're 2 new recruits into the Bacchus Marsh side this year, and they've just got that X factor about them both. They're hard players to match up on. And I thought Burton in the ruck was really influential. I thought he had the better of David Kovacevic. In the middle, he gave his midfielders first use of the footy. And I thought Sunbury did pretty well getting back into the game. I think they conceded the first 6 goals of the game. They fought their way back. They got back within probably about 15 points there at one stage, and at three-quarter time was about 21 points of difference. I went over to the Sunbury huddle and had to listen to Rick Hallwood talk at three-quarter time, and he certainly encouraged his players to take the game on. Why lose by 20 points? Might as well lose by 40 points and have a crack at winning, I suppose, in the last quarter, which they tried to do. And Bacchus Marsh managed to kick a few more goals in the last quarter and win by about 7 goals in the end. So I don't think the end margin actually totally reflected how close the game was. I think you look at the margin, it was 40 points, but I think the game felt a lot closer than that throughout the game. And I think Sunbury, certainly still within a big chance of taking away this year's premiership if they get the result this weekend.
Yeah, well, because of the virtue of getting themselves into that double chance position, they're still alive this week to fight another day, and we'll talk about that very, very shortly. But before we do, talking point number 3, turning our attention to Sunday at the Eastern Oval. Lake Wendouree taking on Redan, and saw a bit of this game early on, and Redan looked very, very good early in this game. Got themselves out to a nice lead, but then the injury curse hit. Lakers started to get the wheels going, and in the end overcome them, run them over in the last quarter and won by 20-odd points. The Lakers going through to a preliminary final. Redan, season over.
Yeah, look, Redan, as you said, jumped out of the box, and a couple of key injuries I thought hurt them. Down rotation on the bench. Grant Bell is a really important player, hurt his knee. Lake Wendouree fought their way back into the game. But I think Lakers need to play a lot better than what they did on the weekend to be able to beat Sunbury. I think if they play a lot they did in the first half against Redan, against a Sunbury side who's playing pretty good footy, I think they'll come unstuck this week. In saying that though, they had to win on the weekend because they've been the best side all year. For them to go in straight sets would have been a disastrous result. they managed to avoid that by having a really good second half on the weekend and getting the result. Now they've just got to continue that form on to this weekend's game against in Sunbury. So it's all about winning for Lake Wendouree.
It is.
Here on in. You can't afford to slip up, and they managed to bounce back after half time. Ben Taylor was fantastic in that second half. He's an experienced player, and he showed his sort of player he is, I suppose, with his performance on the weekend. He sort of, I think, threw his body on the line a few times and got himself up for the second half. Also, some other players I thought were pretty good as well. Nick Peters, who's a great recruit for them, was good. And we put Andrew Pitson under the pump last week. He really did a few good things as well during
Responded.
the game. Yeah, I think
he put Scott Carey under the pump. Did he respond?
He wasn't back to his best, Pitto, but he certainly contributed, which was a good sign for him. Scott needs to still do a little bit more, I think. But he's still got 2 more weeks to do that, I suppose, over the next couple of weeks, mate. So
He has indeed, as we look towards preliminary final day this Saturday at the Eastern Oval. Should be a fantastic day with plenty of clubs represented in the footy. In the under 18.5, it is North Ballarat City taking on Bacchus Marsh. In the reserves, it'll be Sunbury taking on East Point. And then, of course, the main game at 2:15 p.m, Sunbury taking on Lake Wendouree. The winner to take on Bacchus Marsh on the biggest day of them all. Liam, how do you see this one panning out?
Yeah, I'd say that I think Sunbury can win the game. I think that the way they played on the weekend, I thought it was pretty good, even though it was a 40-point deficit. They were 6 goals down at quarter time. They fought their way back into the game against a really good Bacchus Marsh side.
Yep.
Extra day's break, I reckon, will help a little bit as well. If Lakers are able to maintain the form that they showed in the second half last week, they'll give themselves every single chance as well. I think it's probably an even money game, but I think Sunbury, just based on the fact that they're playing pretty good footy at the moment, and I just think that Lake Wendouree's ruck division is a real concern for them.
Definitely.
I think David Kovacevic was a fraction down on the weekend against Burton from Bacchus Marsh. I think Kovacevic will be far too good for whoever Lake Wendouree throw in the ruck.
Tanner Robertson played there last week, which is good to see. Hugh Herban came back into the side for that reason as well.
I don't think Tanner Robertson's a genuine ruckman. I think he's just a makeshift ruckman because they haven't got a genuine ruckman at the moment. So I think Kovacevic will be dominant in the ruck and give his midfielders first use of the footy. And I think they'll just get over the line against the Lake Wendouree team, who's been outstanding all year. And we'll be disappointed if they do lose the game. I might be wrong; they might win, but I think it'll be a really close contest.
Really good midfield battle as well. You see probably 2 of the premier midfielders in the competition, Alec Maggan and Steve Clifton, going head-to-head this week, which will be absolutely fantastic to watch.
Yeah, look, Lake Wendouree's midfield, Clifton, Ben Taylor I spoke about before, and Peters, 3 outstanding players. They're going to rely on those 3 players a hell of a lot on the weekend to will their side over the line. So, if Sunbury can, I suppose, curb their influence in the game, it'll go a long way to a Sunbury win. It
will indeed. So you're tipping Sunbury? I'll go Lakers just to go against you this week and get that bit of division in the panel. So one of us can say that they were right on the footy show next week. Speaking of next week's footy show, I think we might plan something a little bit special for the footy show next week, Dodge. We might actually get out to the Eastern Oval and get some grass under and have a bit of a chat out there next week and see if we can't get a couple of the coaches on the show as well. Get something pretty special for the viewers out there that have been watching all season long. What do you think?
Yep, sounds good, mate. I'm sure that
having our production meeting live on air today, so you get a bit of the insight.
Whatever you come up with, mate, I'm happy to roll with. So I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do that then. Thanks for joining us this week, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And we thank the support, of course, of McDonald's Ballarat and Ballarat Toyota, our fantastic footy show presenting partners once again for season 2016. Enjoy your weekend at the footy, the senior preliminary final on Saturday, the junior grand finals on Sunday, and we'll see you next week for our grand final edition of the BFNL Footy Show.